are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to Self-FULLness Matters, where we take self care out of the box to engage in conversations to discuss the many ways to wellness. We'll also talk about practical applications for abundantly investing into your wellness account so that you can give from your overflow. I am Coach Robin Renee, proprietress of Alpha to Omega Holistic Therapeutic Services, a wellness lifestyle brand with a mission to educate on natural care for mind, body, and soul, to encourage mindful movement and empower you to be well. I intentionally curate safe wellness spaces where Black bodies can freely breathe, move, and thrive. And on our conversation today at Self-Wellness Matters, we have Tameika Hinton of MEIKAs Cleaning. And I'm not going to do a bio because I'm going to let her share with you what she wants you to know. All right, Mika, it's on you.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for tuning in. I am Tameika Hinton, the owner of MEIKAs, making effective improvements, keeping it affordable. I have had a residential and space management cleaning service for commercial and residential places for over 25 years. During that time, I have received a vast of knowledge, hands-on experience, and things of that nature. In conjunction to that, I have wanted to make a impactful impact to my community. So I started mentoring, coaching, and teaching about ways to clean. One of our models is having a clean and organized place touches your overall core of health and wellness. And that includes your mental, your physical, your emotional, your spiritual, and your financial. Each of those I would want to go over with you guys too, because we just don't understand how the dynamics of our mental health is affected, how our family values are affected, and just our core principles of who we are. So I want to educate you guys on a lot of different things for you to think of, because every time you think of health and wellness, first thing comes to you is exercising and eating well. But we want to dive in beyond that. Let's see what is hygiene beyond the body too.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. And I guess from one organizer to another, one as the people may call us neat freaks, right?
Yep.
Right. But we just believe everything has its place. That's all. That's all. Ain't not freaky about that. Everything has its place. So for all of you all out there who people have called you neat freaks, OCD, what else, germaphobes, no, everything has its place, and then there's a reason why we should move about our lives in a certain way, in terms of staying clean, in terms of staying germ free, in terms of staying healthy. So welcome, all y'all. Yeah, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. So, Tamika, let us know what even prompted you to get into the cleaning industry.
Wow. Well, for the longest as a kid, I've always wanted to make extra money. So part of that was chores. I had chores at home. And so beyond the chores, I started assisting seniors that was in my community. And then from there, I had other in and odd jobs, and I started designing kitchens and bathrooms. So that's another component that goes into cleaning and organizing, designing as well. Because when you have a space that's organized, you got to know how to put that together. Nevertheless, I was asking a contractor that they needing assistance on cost offs. And he was like, no, I need a wife. And I was like, what? He was like, really? I need somebody to help me be domesticated. I'm
Hmm.
always on the go. I'm constantly moving and I'm not eating well and I'm not being able to clean my home. And it's just a chaos. I have paperwork everywhere and I'm not liking the way that I'm living and I need to get back on track. Can you help me? And I said, sure. I can meal prep, I can clean up for you, and I can organize for you. So that was my first client. And then from there, I made business cards. I started passing them out, and then I met a Rio agent. And a Rio agent is somebody that works in real estate that covers homes that are about to be foreclosed. And so when I met this lady, she had about 200 homes that needed to be cleaned, and she gave me a proposition. Was like, "Can you start?" And just the grace of God, I was able to start within a week of meeting her. Just
Wow.
organically happened. And from there, I hired a team to go in and get homes spruced up. And my first home was so unbelievably where squatters lived in there. There was no running water, there was no sunlight, and I'll leave all the disgusting details for another time. But
Thank you.
nevertheless, nevertheless, that was the start of MEIKA, of just realizing what I had been doing as a teenager, as a kid, then a teenager, had grown into just a gift that I naturally had. Even when I was designing the kitchens and bathrooms, my eye for detail was just on point with it. When my manager was like, "I never trained someone and they learned super fast." So AutoCAD, looking at blueprints, but I also went to school for construction management too. So just my
Okay.
toolbox of resources and trades and all of that just came out within this industry, where it was just like me seeing things in a total different eyesight of how most people do.
That's good stuff too. And so all those things that you just named that were seamlessly, they were orchestrated first of all for you to be able to move in your gift, but for them to just seamlessly come into play, and you didn't have to put a lot of effort behind you. That's a gift. That's a God gift, you know. And
Yep.
that's, man, that's past talent, you know. That
Yep.
is a gift, and that's one way that you can tell if you're actually moving in your gift. And who would have thought
Exactly.
that? You know, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
And
you've
so
been able to grow from that.
yes, I've been able to grow from that. I'm kind of like not the regular type of service base. I kind of like referrals. Only being because I orchestrate and I do things in such a manner where I need people to understand and be in alignment with that. So when it comes to like the green cleaning, a lot of people just feel like if I walk into my home and I don't smell all these things, it can't possibly be clean. And I'm the total opposite, because I've hired people myself where you could have all these things smelling well and your floors are sticky. You have all these
Yes.
things smelling well and you still see dust everywhere. You have all these things smelling well and you're waking up with headaches. So I like to do things a naturally organic type of way. And everybody's not in that movement. So that's when it comes to how can I get this out even more? So let me talk about it more. Let me educate people more, because if we don't know any better, how can we do better?
Yeah, that's true. So then at that point, you got to get into the psychology of people, right? In their mental mind, like you really have to dig a little deeper, just like you said, so that people can understand. It's not about what you see on the surface. The dangers are those hidden spaces that you don't see, and sweeping past something where you already know that's not disinfecting. It's just moving something out of the way. It may not even be clean, because how clean really can a broom get something, right? So you're just sweeping something out of the way. But who's
Hmm.
going in and making sure in those different cracks and crevices that those things are gone? And so you talked about green cleaning. Can you expound on that just a little bit so that people can understand what green cleaning is?
Green cleaning is cleaning with things that are natural, things that are toxic, things that you could probably put on your face and you don't care about it. Maybe things that you could just digest. And when I say digest, meaning you can put it in your mouth and you could swallow it, or you could possibly eat it. Things that you can put on your skin and you don't feel like things turning red on you or the tingling, because that's part of the redness, the irritation. Things are things that are made safe for the environment. What I mean by safe for the environment is, would it grow a plant? Would it allow things to grow? Would it allow things to be dead? Green cleaning is things that you can inhale and you're not going to die. So those are just examples that goes beyond what Google will tell you what example is, for me, what green cleaning means. And it's just being more environmentally friendly as well. So what it means by environmentally friendly is, we don't understand, while we're sleeping, we're inhaling. So as we're inhaling, we're breathing in toxins. So our environment goes into the air. So almost like the trees, we need trees, because when we breathe out, the trees inhale in. The same with the plants that's around us too. So green cleaning allows us to live longer and healthier.
Okay, so a green cleaning products around the house that somebody, in fact, a lot of somebody that are watching this have in their home. Give me one.
Oh,
You only pick one, just one for now, and then we'll go into some more. Yes,
household
I should have had mine
staple.
up here. I should have had mine up here too. Yes, yes.
Household staple. And for the ladies, if you don't have white distilled vinegar, you got that apple cider vinegar. Why? Because you was ingesting it to lose what
Mm-hmm.
and burn what? Your belly fat. So
Mm-hmm.
what we do, we
Mm-hmm.
put vinegar on our green beans. We put vinegar in our greens. People soak their meat in vinegar. So that's
Yep.
what I mean by green cleaning. It's toxic free where it's something that you can indigest and it's easily going to go down smoothly and not cause any problems to your health.
Yes. So that, of course, is a household staple. But something that I did, and I should have took pictures of, but I didn't. I don't always think of doing it at the time. Like today when I posted the stuff I bought from the grocery store. So at the time. So this is when my kids were home. But you get the people in your house who be cooking and they leak stuff in the bottom of the oven. Oh, that just spins my wheels, churns
Mm-hmm.
my whatever, my gear, grind my gears. But I was able to get the food that was stuck, and it was like, between the oil and the actual food, I got it off with some olive oil, some salt, and some vinegar. And
Yep.
I was the even the scrubber that I have is not a Brillo pad. It's made out of bamboo. Oh no, coconut husk scrubbers. And I
Mm-hmm.
was able to get that out. So of course my family's like, that's not gonna work. You're not about to choke me. Don't be over there at some stores and buying this stuff, and I have to inhale this stuff, and it gets down into my lungs. But I think that people look at one, how do things smell, right? They want these fresh smells. And when we're talking about essential oils, I mean, yeah, I've done my share, in the aromatherapy world. I mean, I'm still immersed in the aromatherapy world, but I mean, I actually went through, got certifications, learned, what the oils were good for. People think that if you have a fragrance and it lasts for 45 days, something was chemically altered in that. Something was
Exactly.
because just like you just said, Tamika, it not only allows things to live, but green cleaning allows things to die. So if you don't have something that's able to die down some, now if you constantly using the same oil, there'll be some residue of it in the air. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
my winter oil, my winter fragrance is lemongrass. So I love lemongrass essential oil. In the summer, I'm just a citrus person. So in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
it's lime. It's pink grapefruit. It's lemon. If I
That
use
all
it enough
aligns with.
times,
Mm-hmm. I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say that aligns with health and wellness.
Yes, 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 yes. So that's what I'm saying. So when people were talking about, when you were talking about how people say how things smell, well, just because you're smelling something, it, and the commercials are good. Now the advertisement is good, child, because some gonna last for 45 days. You're like, look, this is convenient for me, but you're not thinking what in the world that's natural, other than like trees. When we're talking about trees, they last for hundreds of years, but the trees shed their leaves in the seasons too, so they are
Exactly.
constantly growing. But what
Right.
do you know that's going to last that long that is natural, at least that's healthy for you? So can you talk about those things? Like the people with I don't want to say the name brand, but the things that go in the sockets and they last for 45 days. And yeah.
Right, right, right. I certainly agree with those things. Before we do that, I want to piggyback to what you were saying with the oven and things of that nature. It may have taken you a while to clean that oven with those
Yes.
products, but the thing is, it's healthier. And what we have been conditioned as consumers is instant satisfaction and gratification.
Hmm.
We have also been programmed to think that it has to happen right now, and I don't have time and I don't have patience. One thing about green cleaning, certain things, you're gonna have to have patience. But it outlasts because your health is at risk. So because you're spraying it and it's wipe on, wipe off, what did you digest? What's gonna happen to you years later? What can happen to you years later because you have been in smelling those fumes for a while. The other thing is talk to some people that work in the plants because I have. And as I've had those conversations, even with a person who passed, their insides were totally black. So again, they wanted to be an organ donor. They weren't able to be an organ donor. I'm an
Wow.
organ donor. So, and I know the effects of being an organ donor. My child's father was an organ donor, and his ulnar nerve was able to allow somebody else's arm to move later. His part of his eye was able to donate somebody that was blind and were able to see. So again, when we think about the things that we're doing and how we want life to live beyond us, we have to also think about what we're doing on our insides that we can't see. And once again, these manufacturers aren't going to tell you this information. So there's why we have professionals like us that's able to share the knowledge with our people. Wanted to just touch on that. So have patience when you are green cleaning. It's not gonna take 2, 3 minutes. It may take a little elbow grease, but it's certainly going to work, and you're going to have great health beyond that. Now back to what she was saying about these things that go into the walls. I know y'all know what they are, right? They go into the walls.
Right.
They got these fragrance that comes up, and then they smell so good, right? But I want to give you guys a challenge, and I want you to answer this question to yourself, or you can put it in the comments. But what happens when you have those things in there? Did you notice? Did you start getting headaches? Did you notice your eyes be burning? Did you notice like you start sneezing? Did you notice sometimes you start breaking out in rashes? Yep, that's why the things that are inside of these fragrance that smell so good is really toxic. And so our body is human. It's science projects. Our bodies are natural science
Yeah.
projects. And so that's why we get the reactions that we get. That's why you're having a headache. That's why you're starting to sneeze, because once it comes up in the nose, your nose is like, oh my God, what is this? What is this? So it starts to sneeze because it's like it can't enter, it can't enter, it can't enter. Warning, warning, warning. And so
Hmm.
that's when the sneezing comes. Then when the headache comes, it's like, oh my God, something has gotten in here and it's not making us feel good. I mean, it's like cloudy. Oh man, my eyes are starting to water. Like it's just causing all of this robust things. But you just like, my house smell good. My house smell good. Girl, I don't know what
Exactly.
this is with this headache, because I've had this headache for a day or 2 or 3 days. Then you go to a doctor. And then when you go
Hmm.
to the doctor ain't thinking about the fragrance that's going on in your house. Now the doctor that told you got high blood pressure. You ain't even got high blood pressure. But guess what?
Hmm.
High blood pressure pills pays the doctor, and it pays the
Yeah.
pharmaceutical companies. And you're taking these pills. Now your body is gonna probably have high blood pressure because you done digested this for 30, 45, 60 days. So now your body is relying on what? Medicine that you ain't even have to be diagnosed for. Why? Because what has caused the headache was possibly not the high blood pressure. It was what? That fragrance that you're smelling that then did what? Offset sinuses and allergies. So now what does it do to you? It causes all these other symptoms that you're self-diagnosing, or you go to a doctor and they're diagnosing, self-diagnosing too. I love doctors. I have
Hmm.
nothing against doctors at all. But once again, they don't know your body like you know your body. They're not in your household like you are in your household. So you have to understand that some of the things that are in our environments and some of the things we're choosing to do is making us sick like that. So
It's
what you
definitely
can
making
do,
no sense.
so what you can do, you can make a hot pot. What is a
Uh
hot
huh.
pot? Cut you up some apples, put you some cinnamon sticks, put you a little lemons or some oranges, and what you got? And a little water, nice brewing fragrance. Okay,
Hmm.
you ain't got no fruit, right? Guess what? My friend, my just eliminate sodas.
Hey, friend.
Naturally.
Right. Right.
Naturally. Like you can spray it in the air. You can put it on a rag and just wave it around. You can wipe your walls down. You can put it inside of a bowl and just leave it there. You have a natural odor eliminator. It
Hmm.
may smell like a little pickle just for a minute, but guess what? That smell disintegrates after a while. You didn't just get immune to it. It literally disintegrates. It literally disappears.
Yeah, it's an odor neutralizer, and I think a lot of times too. And for people who wear like colognes and perfumes, but just like you said, Tamika, I have nothing against that. I mean, I don't wear those fragrances. I actually can't even stand to be around them. But my olfactory senses actually changed when my first pregnancy. So that first pregnancy changed everything.
Hmm.
I had to give away all of my perfume, my friends, my family. I mean, I had to give away all of it because it would just make me sick. through the pregnancy, and then after she, well, they almost 30 now, but anyway,
Right.
it's like, but it's been, I still can't stand the smell of it. Like walking through a department store, I walk around the fragrance department because it's so much. And that was a part of what got me into essential oils and into aromatherapy because I do like fragrances,
Mm-hmm.
but it was
Mm-hmm.
something in those chemicals that just kicked something. That first baby was like, yeah, Ma, we ain't doing this. We're
And
not doing this. And even after she was born, I still couldn't stand the smell.
that's the thing about motherhood too. That child got in you, it was like abort, we not doing this.
Exactly.
Motherhood changes your body completely. From
Yes.
the time that little seed is planted in you, a lot of
Yes.
changes start, and most of them are great changes. So like that for you was the process of elimination of chemical things that smell good to you. And so
I
what did
just
they
could
do?
not.
You
I
had to
could not.
research. What can I do?
Yes.
And then as a mother, you're like, okay, well, I don't want nothing chemical going on my baby. So now you think of natural
Right.
things. So it forces you
Right.
kind of, once again, the journey of parenthood, motherhood, and all that. But Cecilia has a question here. She said, what about
Okay.
the fresh scent of pine soap? You can get fresh pine, girl.
Get some pine cones.
Yes, the pine
CC, get some pine
cones.
cones. Yeah, get you some
Yep,
actual pine cones. Yep.
actual
And it'll
pine.
work.
And then you can extract that pine cone scent by our best friend. All you got to
Hey
do,
friend. Hey friend.
friend right
Or
here.
you can put them in, you can steam them like the hot pot you were talking about. You can
Yep.
steam your pine cones in a pot. Yeah,
Yep,
you can
you can
totally get,
steam it
and
in.
that's
Mm-hmm.
actually fresh pine. And then I'll say this about fragrances. The pine fragrances, at least what I've smelled commercially, don't match natural pine. Just like lavender,
Exactly.
because lavender is one of my number one essential oils. That stuff that's in the big baby company, I ain't gonna say, but that does not smell like lavender. And it gets people so thrown off that when they smell actual lavender, they say it stinks. Like this
Exactly. And
stinks.
that's the
Like
thing. Yep. And you don't
no,
know the real smell. So that's the other thing. You don't even know the real smell of things because they have
right?
actually recarbonated. They done
Yep.
reformed it, and they done reprogrammed your mind. So
Yes.
so manufacturers, that's their job. Their job is to sell. Their job is to get consumers on board. Cecilia, you have those in your backyard. Cecilia, where you live at, girl?
Oh yeah, in
We
Georgia,
close.
she got a lot of them. Yes.
So there you go. There you go. Go get them pine cones in the backyard. Let them dry out. When they fall down, let them dry out and everything. Spray you some vinegar on. Here go my other friend.
Hey friend.
This the other friend right
Yes.
here. So
Yes.
sprinkle
Baking
some
soda.
of this on there. Spray it in some vinegar and let it dry out. And so that eliminate any little bugs or anything that you're bringing in. Let it dry out. And like she said, you can put it in the hot pot, steam it. You can put it in some vinegar, extract it, put it in a spray bottle. It's so many different uses that you can do that. Regina is asking about scented candles. Regina,
Okay. I
that's
used to
another one.
I used to make candles. Okay, so with the scented candles, so you have the paraffin and you have the soy, and I mean I think they made like a coconut wax. Like there are a lot of different waxes. They
Mm-hmm.
still give off they emit fumes that are not healthy for you. You can go with the healthiest version of those candles. But if it's a straight paraffin, and I can't say the big company that had a big sale twice a year, those
Twice
are
a year,
not.
semi-annual sale.
Yes.
And
And it
they
ain't like I haven't
ten
gone there.
dollars.
They do $10. It's not like I've never been in there because I did, but this has been a process. This has been a journey for me. And it's going on 30 years. So I didn't come up with all of this overnight. But what I do know is what I know. And once I've researched stuff, I definitely want to pass that on. So I would say if it's a paraffin candle, stay away from it. And the one big candle company that starts with a Y, they do not, well, I haven't seen them make healthier versions of candles. So you also want to think about wood wicks. So if you have a natural wood wick, those are a lot better if you are a candle. So it's not that you cannot use candles, but have some kind of ventilation or even an air purifier by your candle.
Yep.
And that will balance that out. You'll still get the fragrance of the candle, but you'll be able to pull some of those toxins, away. But just burning anything, if you think about fire, burning anything, it's still going to emit off some fumes that are not the healthiest for you, if that's making sense. You don't want to be too close to the fumes.
Yep. Yep. I agree. So look at those, and there's several different natural things. As they say, organic costs more. The only reason why they want to put more into it and add more of a cost to things is because everybody want to sell. Everybody want to go the cheap route,
Uh-huh.
and everybody's
Hmm.
hopping on the wagon of health and wellness. Pay the extra money, because what you're doing is paying yourself forward. You're eliminating yourself from possible cancerous diseases. The other thing is, start looking on the back of these labels. As Robert was
Baby.
saying, is I didn't learn none of this, you all, overnight. This has been a journey. I've always been passionate about what I do. All my clients, they always be like, "You got a natural gift. You're a healer," and it's because it's my passion. Like I'm like a nerd. I'm a geek, a lot of times. And
Right.
and so it's like, oh, what's this word mean? Oh, let me search it. So that came from school. Research the researcher. you know
Yes.
and when you research the researcher, now you're really able to see that it's concrete evidence to show you what we're seeing is not just something we're saying, that we have actually looked and found out the information ourselves too, and we want to pass it on to you, especially when it's the first 3 to 5 ingredients on that label. That is what that product is made of. And when you look on the back of the label, search what those ingredients are. See how it aligns with what's wrong with you, and see if it is part of the cause. Because a lot of times we don't
Mhm.
understand that some of the things that we do is part of the cause of what our health reasons are. So,
Right. Oh, and other thing on labels. I'm sorry, for cutting you off. Go ahead. Go
you're
ahead.
okay. No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go. I like the
On,
label.
on labels, what I have started noticing, and this is in the past year or two, what is it called? This product contains a bioengineered food type product or whatever. That's new. I didn't see that on labels before. I just started. I think it says this product contains a bioengineered food type product or food product. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what in the world is this? And so, and I start looking at more and more products. And so maybe regulators are having them to label things a little bit more clearly now. But pay attention to that. So whoever's watching, just turn something over and look at the label. And
Yep.
like Tamika said, when you're looking at things that have combinations, so I'm going to use granola for an example. In granola, so you have your oats, you may have some walnuts, some cherries, some raisins, some dates, what else? Maybe in some granola, coconut, shavings. Those things, if you have more than 5 ingredients, you can recognize all those ingredients. Your body can recognize all those ingredients. That's okay. But if you have something and start looking like the onomatopoeia, right? Like the letters, the words, the 17 letters, and you're not really able to figure out what it is, shy away from that, right? So it's not that you
Yep.
can't have it. And I know a lot of times people say, well, I want to treat myself or this, I got this for a treat. What I had to learn doing when I really started eating more, plant-based products, and it was for, like you said, with my kids and wanting them to have the best. What I started looking for was what was the thing I liked? What are the things that I like? I look for healthier versions of that.
Mm-hmm.
Either I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
find it because I ain't trying to cook. I'm just not. I'm not. I ain't trying to mix. I just be watching people cook. I enjoy that, but I don't want to do it. I want to see all the ingredients they got, but I don't want to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
I find the healthier version of whatever it is that I'm ingesting and what I'm going to eat and what I would give my family, and then I'm able to still enjoy it. Now, will it be the exact same thing? Initially, no. And a good example is I used to love to eat Snickers. Oh my God. When I was younger and my family, they know Snickers was my thing. But now, I mean, I haven't had one in, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years. It's been a long time. My kids, oldest one's almost 30. So it's probably like over 20 years. But when I started tasting them again after I got away from it, it's like it's disgusting. Like it don't,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like a big ball of sugar to me. Now, if anybody else, I'm not down on you because that was my stuff. Power to the Snickers. That was my stuff back in the day. But now, and then when I read the ingredients, when you flip that little label up, because the brown part is over it, so you don't pay attention. You just put it on
Open
your
it
on
up.
the conveyor belt. When you flip that up and you see all of that stuff, you're like, oh wow, I'm ingesting all of this stuff. And so, what is it doing when it gets into your body? That is the question. Your body is an oven. You're talking
Mm-hmm.
about almost your normal body temperature is almost 100 degrees, right? Right? It's
Mm-hmm.
almost it's only 2 or 3 degrees off of 100. Think about what happens when something is at 100 degrees. It's warm. It's getting hot. Now it's dark because it's
Mm-hmm.
inside of your body. And we got to take a pause for the cause. March is colorectal cancer awareness month. And so it's good
Mm-hmm.
that we're going to segue into this, right? So a lot of things, a lot of diseases that we have starts in the colon. And people think
Yep.
that it's hidden Kind of, sort of is because your colon is so long, right? So there are
Mm-hmm.
little things that can get caught up in there and to start to fester and to start to build. So by the time somebody finds out about a intestinal issue or even actual cancer, it has gotten far advanced because of the fact that we constantly eat. We don't allow our bodies adequate time to digest food because we're in a hurry. So we're eating fast and we're on the go, right? Or we just stopped at three different places in one day within a 6 hour span of time and we ate at every one. We ate
Mm-hmm.
at every place
Mm-hmm.
that we went
Mm-hmm.
to, and we don't allow our bodies a time to digest. Digestion is a whole symphony of activities that's going on inside your digestive system, starting with your mouth. That's where your digestive system starts. It doesn't start down here, it starts in your mouth. When your saliva, starts to break the food down to go down to your esophagus. And so once it starts to go down into your body, you have to allow your body time to digest it. And depending on if your body recognizes what you just ate, that's where the job gets hard. Your body like, child, what is this? What we
Mm-hmm.
gonna do with this? Can't use it
Mm-hmm.
for energy, can't use it for nutrients, and we can't pass it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now you're really stuck, like really, really
Mm-hmm.
stuck. So this, whatever it was that you ate, was not able to be used for fuel. You didn't get the nutrients from it, and you can't get it out because
Mm-hmm.
not everyone is having regular bowel movements in a day. Some people are going a week, some people are going 2 weeks, at a
Mm-hmm.
time before they have a bowel movement. And when you think about the amount that can go in, if you stretch your colon out and see how long that is, the amount of stuff that can be impacted in there, that's why it seems like the problem happened all of a sudden. But your body is like, no, it ain't all of a sudden. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you and your mess. And let me shut down like real quick so I can get your attention. So that's what our bodies are doing when we're talking about what's going on inside of our colons. So we want to be mindful that not only are we eating those foods that are not only nutrient dense, but they're also easily digestible by your body. So you want to make sure that your colon, since we're talking about colorectal cancer awareness for the month of March, you want to make sure that you're able to digest it and you're able to move those things along. That's getting your fresh fruits, your fresh vegetables. I mean, if you are a meat eater, no shade, no problem with that, but just make sure you're getting quality meats. So it's not that the meat itself may be that bad. I mean, yeah, if you can stay away from it for so many days, then yeah, try it, try that route. But digesting meat is harsh on your digestive system. So you want to make sure that you have something that your body, one, recognizes, and two, can process, and to be able to allow it to provide the nutrients or the nourishment for your body. If you say grace and you asking the Lord to make sure that this food gives your body the nourishment that it needs, you want to be able to give your body something that it recognizes. If your body don't recognize it, it's like, okay, I'm either gonna hold this or it's gonna come out. Right. So one or the other. So you either got the runs now or you stuck or you constipated. So we want to make sure that we're not doing that, to our bodies that disservice. And
Yes.
Tameika, I don't see you. I hear you, but I don't see you.
Can you hear me now? Can you see me now?
I can hear you, but I don't see you. Nope.
Okay.
I don't see ya. But I hear you
Okay.
clearly.
What about now?
Nope. I don't see
No.
ya.
Oh man.
So maybe it'll come back up. That's okay. I can hear you. We can
Okay.
talk.
Okay.
Okay. So speaking of going into your colon, so our promo clip, right, was our conversation that we had about, boy, the black people about to come for us now about putting bleach in
Yes.
the dishwater.
Yes. Yes. And that's why I want you to
Put a
see
cap on
me
the bleach
because I
tea.
got my props right here. Can you see me
Oh, yeah,
again?
I don't. I don't.
Dag, 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 dag.
Okay, y'all, hold tight, hold tight, hold tight.
Yeah, we having
No, I
technical
don't.
difficulties here.
That's
Okay.
okay. That is okay.
Should
But
I
I
come back out
don't.
and come back in? Should I go back
No,
out?
I don't
No?
think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay.
We might. I don't know what. I mean, how much time we got? Are you
We
hitting
got
your camera
30.
function?
I am hitting my camera function. I know it froze on me and then I saw it freeze and then I tapped it in and I started moving on my camera, but then I couldn't see you. Now you
Oh, yeah, because
yeah.
there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing
Oh
that I can
shoot.
push over here. So do we want to go out and come back in? Let's ask in the chat. Will y'all come back if we tap out and come back in?
Yeah, if we tap out, ladies and gentlemen, when you guys come back, give us some hearts,
Or
give us some
Tamika,
likes.
Tamika, see if you can do it, and then just come right back in, and then before I leave,
Okay. Okay.
just
Okay.
see if
I'm
you can
I'm
do it.
gonna do it right back. Okay.
Okay. All right. So y'all just got me. Y'all got me down. Let's see if I see anybody in the chat because I can't see the chat. Okay. Some messages. Oh, there we are. Okay. Welcome to the live chat. Hey, hey, Nefertiti. Okay. Hey, okay. I got Regina. I got okay, the pine saw. I got Cecilia. You have those in the back. Yep, and Cecilia, you can't put those inside of a bag as well, like a little knapsack. And so in terms of this green cleaning or this eco-friendly cleaning that Tamika is talking about, there are also products that you can find around your house. This is Tamika come back in. Yeah, products that you can use around your house. So she showed you the vinegar. She showed you the baking soda. Hey, but what about lemon juice? And you can use lemon juice, you can use lime juice. Now, a good rust remover is lemon juice and vinegar. A
Yep.
very good rust remover is lemon juice and
Yep.
vinegar, and it will get that rust right off. I mean, when you start seeing it spread, you'll think it's going to make the metal worse, but it doesn't. Once you clean it off, it's nice. That
It melts
stainless
it
steel
away.
is nice. It
Yep,
melts
it
it away.
melts it away. Yep. A good stainless steel shiner, olive oil. That's it. Put just a little dab
Yes,
on there and wipe with the
olive
grain
oil.
of the stainless steel. I want to go back to what you were talking about, the gut. Is that a
Hmm.
lot of times too, as we're cleaning, we're what we're doing, touching our mouth. So what is going in is going on our tongue. And what is it doing then? Digesting into our bloodstream. The other thing is again into our nose. So things that we are ingesting through our nose, through our mouth, and through our eyes, just like how COVID was. My thing when I heard COVID was cleaning off viruses, infections, and diseases. So the
Hmm.
other part of what goes into our gut is what is in our environment. So as you said, people call you clean freaks. Yeah, I'm a clean freak because why? Viruses, infections, and diseases is all around all the nastiness. So when you're not cleaning up your home, you're not healthy inside too. The other thing I want to talk about is yes, what black folks think so strongly about is that bleach belongs in the dishwater. And my first thing when I see or hear about that is why? Why? Did our ancestors really mean well about that? Because when you research bleach, bleach goes
Yes.
way back. And when it goes way back, it went back to doing what? To dye fabric. Bleach was not meant to do anything about disinfecting and sanitizing until maybe 50 years after it was first invented. It was invented to dye fabric. That's it. So now
Hmm.
we went to something dyeing fabric to now parts of the components is supposed to sanitize and disinfect. It does not do that. The second part of why are you putting in your bleach water is like she said, what we put into our mouths is consumed. So you drinking from your glasses, you drinking from your plastic cups, you're eating off your spoons, your kids are sucking on their bottles with their nipples and all that stuff. What is that doing? Chemically putting toxics in your body, in your baby's bodies, and in your kids' bodies. That's it. Put this
Hey,
in your
friend.
water.
Yes.
People who put bleach in their Dawn. I done seen people like Dawn ain't white. White. Put bleach in there. What? I just put a little tap. Once again, it was made to change colors. It's still doing what it was made for, to change colors. Because if I put any bleach in here, it's gonna turn it white. If I put bleach on my shirt, what is it gonna do? Spot it. If you leave bleach on something too long, what does it do? Burn a hole. But you're still putting it in your bleach water. Did grandma know what it was doing? Or this gonna really blow y'all mind. This is my conspiracy theory. And this is the first time I say it this lab, but I do teach this in my classrooms.
Hmm.
Did our ancestors use bleach for us or did it use it for master? Was it to give
Mm.
toxic things to master? And somehow that
Mm.
language didn't get passed on to us. Because guess what we was doing? We was washing they dishes.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
so was it singling out for us or was it singling out for them? The other thing is ladies, fertility is tied to bleach. Infertility is tied to bleach. So when you're bleaching your clothes, when you're putting bleach in your dishwater, when you just bleach, and ammonia, mixing it together, you are tearing down your egg count by breathing in those toxins. Your doctor will not go over that with you. Find you a
Hmm.
health and wellness doctor. They will explain it to you. It has been researched, a lot of research that connects it to it. Um, but I just want to leave people with the when you put bleach in your water, what you doing? Your hands be feeling so silky, like you got lotion on it. It is
It's
tearing
eating.
down the
Yes.
skin cells to a
Yes.
microscopic point that your eyes cannot see. So this is what I mean by when you research. I've done the research. That's why I don't come to people's houses with bleach. I don't use bleach. Guess what bleach do to me? Soon as I smell bleach, I got a headache instantly. Instantly. Why? It's not no good for me. When I was using bleach cleaning 15, 17 years ago, this would be broken out. And I was like, you mean tell me I wait till I got 30s for acne? Like I got to be a
Mm-hmm.
grown woman to start getting acne. No, this can't be possible. But what was it? It was the bleach. The bleach coming through my skin. Like, again, it's toxic, it's toxic, it's toxic. And I was using it daily. Not we all been passed down the wrong information. But I want you all to understand bleach does not belong in the dishwater. Not at all. I want you to understand that just because something is on the shelf does not mean that it's okay to buy it. We're
Mm-hmm.
consumers. And the people who have made the rules, they ain't nowhere near us. They not nowhere in our category of how much we make. They're not in our neighborhoods at all. What I mean by that, that's the top 3% of the world that controls everything. They know better, but they're not going to send you that message. Why? Because we have freedom of choice.
Mm-hmm.
The second part of it is when you go to countries that pay for their residents' health care, their citizens' health care, they ain't got bleach over there. They ain't selling all that messy stuff. Why? We're paying for our citizens' health care. When you go to Europe, they ain't got bleach. Mm-mm. Nope. You can bring it over there maybe, but they're not pushing it. Why? Why would we put something on the shelves for our citizens to use knowing we're footing their bill for health care? They're not
Right.
putting and pushing things that's going to make you sick. The other part, cancer. Bleach is connected to so many cancer components. So again, when she's saying digest to the gut, I'm going to say digest to the gut as well as digest to the bloodstream. So when we
Mm-hmm.
putting things on our body, you got that fresh white t-shirt on. If you soak that in some bleach, oh, I'm gonna put a cup in with my water, and then, let me add a little bit extra because I want it to be white bright. Now you outside, you moving. Every day you teaching workouts. If you're not teaching, you still doing, you're moving your body every day, Robin. So if you
Mm-hmm.
was to be using bleach, you sweating. When we sweat and we perspire, what happens? Our pores open. And so what happens when our pores open? We're letting
It's
things
going in the
in.
skin.
It's
Yeah.
absorbing in the skin. Then when it absorbs in the skin, it's absorbing into what? Our bloodstream. So we have all entryways for toxins to come into our bodies. Once again, we have freedom of choice of understanding what we allow to come into our bodies, to educate ourselves of what we allow to come into our bodies.
That
Once
is true. So
again,
you know what I use? Hey friend,
friend.
hey friend. So you
Here go,
so you know
here,
what I
here go
use?
another friend too for whitening
Hey friend, it is.
and
It
one
is.
more.
Hey, yes. Oh, I'll tell you about my story with that. Okay, with peroxide. But yeah, so the other thing I do when I'm looking at something, and hey Vanessa, and hey Nefertiti. Okay, so what I think about is how many ways can I use this, whatever it is. So if olive oil is the choice, oh no, I'll go peroxide. So peroxide is the choice of what I'm picking up. Like how many ways can I use this, right? Right? Is it safe to put this in my mouth? Right? That's one channel to get in, right? Is it safe enough to put on my skin? Is it safe enough for me to use? I mean, because my part of my cleaning product, I have peroxide and like to whiten the tub, right? So that's what I'm
Yep,
going to use. I'm going to put that, in the spray bottle. If you got to get up some stains, blood stains, that's how I, learned about it years ago when you have to clean up, if you have some
clean up
stains,
behind
some
ourselves.
spotting,
Yep.
yeah, you use that peroxide, right? You don't go and get some bleach, but you use the peroxide, and that's how you can tell that it's sort of like luminol. I'm just saying, but I'll be watching crime shows. I'm just
And
saying, but
and
peroxide
these
is
three
fun.
together,
Uh huh.
three
Uh huh. Uh huh.
tablespoons together, will
Uh huh.
be
Uh huh.
that eliminator of what she said, getting spots.
Right. So with that peroxide, peroxide is going to show you those little small specks of, things that are there that should not be there, and it's safe, and you can put it on a colored item. So if you have something that happens to be yellow and you got some blood on it, so before you try and figure out how you're going to dab with a Q-tip and get it out with bleach, add the peroxide, allow it to soak, in the peroxide. If you're going to use a little, soap on that after that, but let the peroxide soak in, to that first. So that's what I do. So peroxide is one. Olive oil is another. So can I use this on my skin? Can I, drink this or eat this or whatever it is? So if I'm able to ingest it. So like with olive oil is actually a good lubricant for your colon. Again, we're talking about colorectal cancer
Mm-hmm.
and those
Mm-hmm.
things that happen to
Mm-hmm.
go on in your body. Peroxide, I mean, not peroxide, olive oil is actually a lubricant for your intestines. So you
Mm-hmm.
take the 15 millimeters or 3 tablespoons or a half an ounce, like however you want it. You can do that, once a day. Now, is it tasty? Let's put the brakes on this. It ain't something you just go on and say, oh, I want to order a shot of olive oil. But if you know you're having digestive issues or if you want to prevent digestive issues, that's something you could just start adding into your daily so that you can get things moving around, especially if you don't intentionally move your body every day. Exercise helps you to exercise, your colorectal system, to
Mm-hmm.
help you to exercise your digestive system. So if you're not doing that and you have a sedentary lifestyle, you can actually add some peroxide. I mean, oh, not you said peroxide. You can actually add some olive oil
Olive oil.
to
Mm-hmm. Like
your
cod liver oil.
daily, like how live. Oh, yes, that's a thing. That's a real thing. But if you remember back in the day, baby, back in the 60s and 70s, what we had cod liver oil, we had castor oil,
Yep.
we
Castor
had
oil
olive
too.
oil, like all
Yep.
those things that would help our bodies. And then we got fancy. People got fancier through the years. Advertisers got I'm going to say fancier because I'm not going to necessarily say wiser because the things that they're pushing can be made in mass production way cheaper and they get to it's about the dollar. It is about the
It's
dollar. And when
about the dollar
it's
and
about
not
the dollar, that's
about
the
your
bottom
health.
line. That's
And
the
that's
bottom
why
line.
that's and so the other part of when you I want to go back to what you were saying about the labels, that they don't have all ingredients on labels. Why? FDA has approved some things they don't have to tell you
It's
all ingredients.
trash. Oh my
So that
God.
means
Yes.
so that's a warning sign. That's a warning for you. Don't buy, don't buy, don't buy. Why? Because they're not even regulated to tell you what's in there. Why? To protect them. Because again, we are becoming more aware of what they're doing. So what do they have to do? They have to cover up that awareness because accountability comes. That's when the lawsuits
Uh-huh.
come in at. Look at the baby powder thing. With now baby powder was connected to ovarian cancer. Why? Or
Mm-hmm.
some fertility things. Why? Because it was not made of just cornstarch. It had all the other unnatural ingredients tied to it. When they later
Yep.
on now with the fragrance and all of those things too. So now it goes to all those sprays don't belong down there, lady.
So can we go? Can we go with that? Okay, let's get with that. So are you not feeling so fresh down there? If you not, a lot of things that come out of our bodies start in our colon. They start in our colon. Yes, they start in our colon, and we can use natural products. It will take time, like Tamika said. So if you think about how long it takes to grow a tree takes a long time. But if you stay diligent with it and learn how to adjust your body to the changes. If you decide to do this, I mean, we're not telling you you have to do this. We're just sharing with you our experiences and how we've gotten to where we are now. Because when I
Mm-hmm.
first decided I was going to go over to the whole natural deodorant thing, baby, I had way more estrogen then. I was much younger then. It's been a long
Ain't
time now, so I'm good. But you got all kind of
nobody had
hormones
to
going up.
adjust to that though,
My
too.
body, but baby, I'm telling y'all, it wasn't no good adjustment. It wasn't. It was not fancy. It wasn't pretty at all. I'm telling you. But I
And it didn't
was
smell well
committed.
all the time
It
neither.
didn't smell. I was I had my lavender. I would take my lavender. With that part of what started me carrying that little bottle of lavender. And also, if I had my kids with me and I wanted to make sure that they had some, that was even before sanitizer. I was putting, well, before we got hit to sanitizer in the way that it is, I would put the lavender on their hands because it was something gentle and I knew that it would kill germs. But I'm
You
just
know what
letting you
else
all know I'm
kills germs
sharing that
too?
with you.
One other thing, when we go out to restaurants and they give us that slice of lemon, I know it'd be good in the water.
Oh
Ooh, that's
yes,
but
yes,
putting fresh lemons. All you gotta do is squeeze
yes,
them on your hands, and there you go.
yes,
Instant sanitizer right there.
yes,
Lemons
yes,
will sanitize. You could open up a lemon and just sanitize your countertop. Like
yes, yes.
again, we have the tools and the resources that are naturally for us, and it takes time. It it
It
it
does.
it
It does.
literally does take time. It's not nothing that can happen overnight. But it's the same thing of losing weight naturally. Building
Uh-huh.
your body naturally. Um, I just did a 3-day detox. So when I erased that whole palette, and my detox was a water detox. I didn't put no lemons in the water. I didn't chew no gum. I ain't had no halls in my mouth, no mints in my mouth. I just had water for 3 days. But what it did was pull out the toxins. So this is the same thing. It happens overnight. And the first part of it is getting the stuff out of your house. So now you ain't gonna be
Hmm.
on, oh, I gotta use this because I spent my money on it. You got clothes in your closet that you ain't even wore. You spent your money on.
You put
You
your
got shoes you done broke that you got food. When you went to the grocery store and brought food that you ain't even cooked, take
yes.
out canned goods that you done went to the pantry and they was about to expire and you took them and they still in there and they what? Got to throw it out. So don't look at the money that you spend. Look at what the longevity of what you're doing and how you're trying to make those changes in your life.
Right. And so then that's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about practical applications, right? Is it a solution? It could be. For some people, it could be a solution. But we're just talking about those things that we did that were very practical that allowed us to abundantly invest into our wellness account. It's not a money thing per se. It ends up being money in the long run. Into your wellness account. How are you sleeping? How are you eating? How are you exercising? All those things. What how are you hydrating your body? All of those are investments account. So if you want to start with one thing, don't overwhelm yourself because it's a lot. When you try to think about it, you sit down. Ooh, I'm about to go vegan. I'm gonna come back to that and put a bookmark in it because that's the thing. People, I'm gonna go vegan, right? So whatever it is that
Mm-hmm.
you have decided to do, take your time with it. If you're the type of person that you write stuff down and you need a game plan, use those SMART goals. So if you say, I'm not going to eat any more salt for the next 6 months, if that's what it is, put it in your SMART goals. That S is specific. You're not going to eat any more salt. M
Mm-hmm.
is measurable. It's for the next 6 months. A,
Mm-hmm.
attainable or achievable. Yeah, you can do that because, you can remove the salt, like Tamika said, from your house. Is it realistic? Sure, it's realistic, right? Is it,
Mm-hmm.
relatable to your life? Sure, it is, because if you have a goal,
Mm-hmm.
you want to bring your blood pressure down. Timely, the end of it is, or I'm going to check in on my T in 6 months. You can do
Right.
all of that. Use those SMART goals and start with one thing at a time. And once you have gotten into a pattern of eliminating or incorporating, so if you're eliminating something that's not healthiest for you and you're incorporating something that's healthier, that's where the swap comes in. So one is going out,
Mm-hmm.
one just like what Tamika's saying with the carbon dioxide and with the oxygen, right? The plants need us, we need them. It's an
Mm-hmm.
exchange. And that is
Mm-hmm.
how the circle of life works. So we don't want you all to feel so overwhelmed or you think like, oh my God, like I have to do this right away. Mm-mm. I use my birthday. My birthday is my new year. So January 1st, I'm not making, resolutions. I started this a long time ago. And then I
Mm-hmm.
learned of, other stuff in terms of
The
how we're
13
connected
count.
to nature. Yeah, yeah.
The
That was a new
moon and
initiative.
all that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so through the years, as I started learning that and understood that January is in the dead of winter, right? It is so hard to do active things, and that's why a lot of people get stuck. I'm in the wellness industry, fitness industry as well, and I talk to people, and people have so many issues trying to stick with their goals because it's so hard. When you think about it, our nights are longer because of the fact that you should be resting. Winter is a
Mm-hmm.
season of rest. And so
Yep.
if you come up with all of these plans of what you're going to jump into, that's a part of how you get so overwhelmed and it feels so hard. No matter how
Mm-hmm.
we keep this earth and we keep life moving 24/7, it wasn't meant to be that way. And nature, you ain't gonna fight nature like that. Nature gonna make you go to sleep. Now you can take
Yep.
stuff to stay up and make yourself stay up. But if you understand that cyclically, that's the right word, cyclically, your body is resting in the winter. Winter is a state of rest. And then you have to think about when spring comes, we outside like today,
Yep.
right? So it's nice here. We go outside, we get alive. We even change the colors that we wear when the
Mm-hmm.
springtime comes because things come alive. Spring is that season where the new budding happens. It's where the new things grow. And so my birthday is in spring, and I started this years ago. It's probably been 30. I relate most things to when I had kids,
With
like
the
before
kids.
kids,
Yep.
after
It
kids,
all happened with the
right?
kids. Because that's when the
Yes,
change of life happens for you. That's
yes,
when the change of
yes.
life, the
So
first
it's
season of change of life for you.
so it's been almost 30 years. And that's why I use my birthday. So my birthday is my new year. And what I started doing was I start once again either eliminating something that's not the healthiest for me and then adding something that's healthier. And my elimination got less and less and less. The older I got less and less and less. So I'm gonna, I'll give an example. So this is one of my most profound examples, and people laugh when I tell them this, but it is the truth. I had to pray and ask God to remove the desire from my body for potato chips because we
Mhm.
didn't have no good
Mhm.
relationship. We did. I was 35 years old. I was 35 years old. So that's what, 20, 30. Am I at 30 years now?
Almost.
20, 25, 27, 27 years? 20, I don't know. Y'all do the math. I was public school, but yeah. But how many years ago? Almost 30 years. It was, it
Like I said, almost.
was
I rounded up for you.
Yeah, so okay, so this is how we do it. 35, 45, 55. Okay, so it's been 22 years, almost 23 years. I have not had one potato chip nor a desire because I was serious about that. I'm like, that relationship was just not good for me. Somebody else may have looked like, you don't eat that many potato chips because if I did a comparison, like me and my sister Lisa, that her relationship with potato chips, but that was hers. I mean, I ain't eat as many as her, but it was unhealthy for me, right? So I couldn't do that comparison. I didn't like where I was going with potato chips, and I literally had to pray. And people do laugh like you. I'm telling you, I had to pray. I had to put them potato chips on for real on the altar and ask God to remove the whole desire for a potato chip, and it happened. I don't have a desire. I can go anywhere. You can drop me in a vat of potato chips. I don't want none. I do not want any because what I knew was, and this was before I really, really, got into the wellness um, the wellness space the way that I am now and then seeking more, natural, more organic, more plant-based options. It was just that it was fried and it was salty. And then the crazy part is I don't even like salt like that, but I like potato chips. Right. I don't even like
Mhm.
salt. Like adding salt to my food, I'll be the
Mhm.
one ordering stuff and say no salt. And the people looking like no salt. Yeah, no salt. That's me. And that's always
Mhm.
been me. I'm a sweets person. I'm a sweet. You give me the sugar, I'm a sweets person. But for
Mhm.
me, that was what I had to do in order to move on a healthier path. And then I picked something else. And then it was being intentional about my water intake because I did this
Mhm.
water challenge, the gallon a day. Guess what I found out? That ain't for me because that's too much water. I was miserable. I
Mhm.
tested the theory, right?
Mhm.
Half your
Mhm.
body weight in ounces, half your body
Right.
weight in ounces. Well, I should not be drinking 128 ounces, of water because I'm not 256 pounds. Like like
Mhm.
that was
Mhm.
wrong for me. But I stuck it
Mhm.
through and I did the whole 30 days. I was miserable,
Mhm.
swelling, I mean,
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
tight and I mean, constantly going to the bathroom, constantly peeing. That's not a problem for me because I'm gonna do that anyway because I want my kidneys flushed. Some people
Right.
say that, well, if you drink all that water, you got to pee all the time. So you want to hold on to it? Like,
Right.
huh?
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah, you're supposed to. But for me, I had to scale back because I actually used myself to test that out to see,
Mhm.
okay, if I drink all this water, am I going to be better off? And I was not. I was not better off drinking all that water.
Mhm.
So
Another
that's how
thing
we want.
is
We
that
want you all to just go ahead.
yeah, I was going to say
Go ahead.
another thing is that when your body's not used to something, sometimes it rejects it. So, like you were saying, the
Uh-huh.
swelling and things like that. So it was a thing of like, hey, your body again is like, wait, what is this? This is alien for me. So it's the same thing of changing into natural things. See what works for you. Give it a try. Give it at least 30 days. But there are options. But and then the other thing is take the challenge of 30 to 45 days or 2 months because once again you've been computed, you've been programmed for however long you've been on this earth and however long you've been cleaning. So the new way is not going to seem like, oh, this is just doing too much, this is just too much for me. I want to go back to the gut too of while we were talking about fruits and veggies too. When you wash out your fruit and veggies, again, pay attention to those labels on the back and what's the ingredients because a lot of them have more pesticides, more toxins that you're washing the fruits with when all you gotta do is use friend,
Hey,
vinegar,
friend.
and baking
Hey,
soda
friend.
and some water. Those three things: 4 cups of water, 3 cups of water, 1 cup of bacon, 1 cup of vinegar or half a cup of vinegar, and then some sprinkle baking soda on it, and letting it soak for about 5 minutes, and patting that fruit down dry. If it's fruit, vegetables, same thing, patting it dry, but making sure you wash it out, and you'll see everything dissolve. Even in your garden, you can still use this same stuff in your garden as well as you're growing things too. So you don't have to put those harmful chemicals on there because once again, we're digesting it. And as she was saying, what's digested, everything sits in our gut. One thing I do when I get sick, First thing I'm doing, I'm getting some garlic in me, and so I can clean my blood. And then the second part I'm doing, I'm trying to eat some greens. I'm trying to eat anything will make me go to
Because
the
I got to go.
bathroom
Yes,
because
I
I
got to
got to
go.
get it up out of me. So I'm eating greens, I'm eating kale, I'm eating spinach. I'm eating some good veggies. Like I'm getting a lighter diet, some fish, just something that's not gonna sit heavy on my gut because I gotta eliminate this toxins out of here. Because why? I know again from research, even though I'm a cleaner, I still know from research too that things sit in your gut. And that's
That
why
is
we
true.
have, yeah, that's why we had the outbreaks. So the other part of it is your skin tells you too. Look at your skin, your body tells on what's going on with you. So we have to slow down and pay attention to that. The same with our kids. Sometimes they got asthma because they got all that smell good going in the house. You got all these sprays going on. You're using bleach and ammonia together in the toilet. You making chemical bombs because again, those hey, that stuff will blow your toilet up.
It will.
Don't
Exactly.
shake up a bottle like you making real
A
bombs.
cocktail bottle. Yes.
You making
Yes.
look at some of these 70s movies. You
Exactly.
making a real cocktail bomb. So that's another thing. Me as a professional, I had to eliminate things. Especially with my team. Just imagine they put a bleach bottle on somebody's wood thing. That's a stain. That's never ever coming out on a
Mm-hmm.
carpet. That's a stain. That's never ever coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Accidents that we can prevent. Them kids can clean up. Them kids can clean up naturally and safely.
They can. They
Utilize
can.
these things. That's all. Show them. And then the other thing is, don't take this the wrong way, y'all, but stop letting stuff sit around.
Mm-hmm.
Why it takes longer to clean. It's easier to take out a minute or two. I always tell my son, why leave a bowl that you knew you had a bunch of sauce in to stay in the sink overnight and it's going to dry up? Because now what it has to do, it has to soak. Because you ain't just going to rinse it out and wash it real fast. No, it has to soak now. But it's easier for you just to rinse it on off. You ain't got to wash it with soap, but rinse it on off. And then later go back to it and run your dishwater and let it soak. So some things we can eliminate by having the processes, taking the time in to do what needs to be done, and then using the right things. Using the right
Okay.
things.
So on that note, Tamika, we have reached our 1 hour mark. Can you believe that? We've reached
Whoa,
the one
that
hour.
time went by really, really
It
fast.
did. It did. So if you can leave the people with one gem, you're going to give them one nugget. Give them that and then give them the information to be able to contact you.
Okay, so my gem that I want to leave with you guys is that you can have bleach alternatives in your life, and those bleach alternatives is our friend vinegar.
Hey, friend.
Another bleach alternative is our friend baking soda and peroxide. There are others, but for now, those are three staples that most of us have in our household. They are very cost effective as well, and they go a long way. Little amounts go a long way with those. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on any social media with MEIKAs, MEIKAS, MEIKAs Cleaning, or Tameika Hinton. I also have a group where I'm just sharing resources, different recipes, of bleach alternatives. So it's bleach alternatives is the name of the group. It's a lifestyle of cleaning and organizing. Stay in touch with you, Robin. And
Okay.
I
Thank you so
thank
much,
you.
Tamika. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say thank you for having me on.
Thank you for joining us. Thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks for all your comments. I'll put the information that Tamika just shared in the notes from today's show. And my nugget for you, as always, is to take time to take care of you. And on that note, we're out of here. Peace.
Peace.